All right. Are you ready? Peace. All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Larry James. My company is Speak with Larry, no spaces. Now, what I'm going to talk to you today about is an acronym I learned over the weekend. Um, I may have heard it before, but I didn't remember it. But I wrote it down this time. It's called Passing Over Opportunities Repeatedly. Passing over opportunities repeatedly. You know what that acronym spells out? Right. Poor. Poor. Now, a lot of that has to do with, believe it or not, the mindset. I know you can be very, very smart, but have a poor mindset. Why am I emphasizing the poor on this video? Well, it's because we're not really poor. It's our effort that we don't put into what we decide we want to do. When you were younger, when you were a child, you probably said to yourself, I want to be X when I grow up, not knowing what all that required, but you enjoyed watching or being a part or being around that type of environment. Whether it was you wanted to be the coach or you wanted to be the player, you wanted to be the teacher, you wanted to be whatever you wanted to be. You had a dream when you were young that if I ask you today and you were honest, you would probably say, yeah, I wanted to be that. Me, I wanted to be a psychiatrist. That's what I wanted to be. I was going to be a psychiatrist because I love mental thought processes. I love understanding why you think like that. A lot of times it's because of your childhood, right? A lot of times it's because of things that you've had to deal with over time that kind of put you in a place where you don't really make a lot of good decisions quickly, or you don't make a lot of good decisions, period. You know, and we have this thing called an ego. Now, our ego is can be very fragile. When you see someone uh, kill their wife or someone, kill their children because they said that they were going to leave them, that's a fragile ego. So how can your ego be so fragile that you would be willing to, or it would even interest you to do something so medieval? Is because it's controlling you. It's not about you. It's not about you from an egoic perspective or a life perspective. It's it's your life, but when you bring or when you cross paths with someone else and become part of their lives and they no longer want to be in your life for whatever reason, they have that ability to leave without feeling like you're going to stalk them or threaten them or even do harm to them. Right? You don't want that. That's not a relationship. And that's one of the things that many of us who want to get into a relationship don't really have with ourselves yet. You have to be okay with who you are, which is why I push so hard personal development because it's it's about what you bring to the table. If what you bring to the table is authentic and original and truly you, then the person that's receiving that can deal with that. But that craziness and all that, they can't deal with that. And neither can you. If someone is bringing some crazy type situations into your life and you have a stable, kind of a peaceful life, they got to go. that's that's not a fit, because it's about uh, how you view the world and how you are able to contribute to the world, right? Because you're going to be here a short time. So when you decide that you're not going to do something based on not taking advantage of opportunities because you didn't know that was an opportunity. The reason you didn't know that was an opportunity is because you weren't literate enough on that specific topic or that specific situation, right? Like Let me give you an example really quickly. Like I said, I love giving stories and I love giving little anecdotes, something that makes it clearer for you to understand. What I share with many of my classroom events that I speak about is that when you gain a certain level of knowledge, what used to look like a door or what used to look like a wall now becomes a door because you know enough to identify, hey, that's a, I'm going to take that door. But before you didn't see that door. And there's a reason for that. That's like what's called a gatekeeper. See, the gatekeeper has all the information in what's called a book or a video or an audio. But the key is you have to watch it, listen to it, or read it. And if you do none of that, you're basing your decisions on the same information that you had yesterday, which was zero about this today. So you want to be careful when you put yourself in a position to make a decision that can be have lifelong consequences, especially in a negative. You know, like if you're going to invest some money, never invest your money where you don't invest your mind. Don't ever do that. I don't care how much money you're doing. If you're doing $500, don't do that. If you're doing $5,000, don't do that. That's not good because the world will eat you up. You have people that are waiting for you to do that, and you don't want that. But anyway, passing over opportunities repeatedly. Don't do that either. Get yourself in a position where you can identify that's a door. I'm going through that door. Or that's a door, that's a door, and that's a door. I have three choices. I'm going to go through, and then that's up to you. But you have to go through the door because on the other side of that door is more knowledge, more doors that will be opening to you. And if you keep going, what happens then is when you open that door, there'll be somebody there to help you get to the next level. That's how it works. But until you get to that point, what happens is the God that we pray to, he'll send you somebody. He'll send you something. You have to be knowledgeable enough to identify it though. But a lot of times you will in retrospect, when you look back, you'll say, hey, you must have came into my life so that I can get to this point. Because now she's gone or he's gone. But look at me, right? So you want to be mindful of how you're moving through this world because you make a lot of the choices and a lot of decisions that you blame on other people because you didn't know it was you doing it, or you didn't want to take responsibility for doing that, right? We're adults. You have to do adult things and you have to deal with adult consequences. That's how life goes. That's what makes you better, stronger. All right, listen, I appreciate you guys listening. You know, I got a lot of videos to make. I don't want to keep harping on that because it's winding down. I do. I'm probably over 15 now. I put it out like that. Yes, I do. Anyway, my company, Speak with Larry, and I'll see you on the next video. And as always, share with someone else what I've shared with you.